Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, and how are you doing this Sunday afternoon? This is the Club of the Man, 1993. And as always, guys, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And yes, I remember the scarf before hitting the go live button. I remembered it all, so I am prepared and well prepared for this stream. And hopefully knocking out a couple more videos for you guys today as well. So, we are live. We're talking about this past Friday night's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Smack it down, man! It's the March 24th, 2023 edition of Smackdown. And it took place out in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It was just there 2 months ago. Check it out if you haven't done so. It is definitely worth the trip. We are, of course, now a week away from WrestleMania 39, as Night 1 and Night 2 will be next weekend, April 1st and April 2nd, at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both nights, and it takes place at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Of course, there's been some pictures already of them starting to construct the stage and put it up. Looking forward to seeing how that stage turns out. As, of course, it is the first, hopefully not only, stage under the Triple H era. We will talk about a couple little topics. So before we get to the SmackDown review, two of them I made posts about on my Instagram and Twitter. One I didn't, but we'll get to that in a second. So before we go, we get to anything further, if anybody does appear in the live chat, just so you got the rundown again as I talked about my AEW review yesterday. Well, first off, I apologize I was able to get this review yesterday. We had some pretty bad windstorms here yesterday, like later in the afternoon, and we briefly did lose power, but luckily it was only not for too long. So I was able to work on a couple of other things that I just am not uploading yet, but getting to it. I do have one more year of my next Roller Coaster Tycoon Let's Play to do, and I'm also working on another video game Let's Play on the side from that. And of course, I will possibly have another baseball topic video be uploading later on today. But tomorrow, after work, I will be doing, before Raw, I will be doing my WrestleMania 39 preview and predictions. I'm doing them tomorrow, getting them out of the way, because again, that's the most important stream this week. And again, with how busy, life is, I don't want to take any chances. So I'm just going to do them tomorrow before Raw and get it done with. The card is pretty much set, unless they add any more stipulations or random ass match to this point. But again, and I even said on my Raw reviews past week, the card is set. Yes, the shows have had some filler episodes. Yes, it feels like they're coasting. But again, for the most part, my intelligence is not being insulted. I still feel confident that Triple H is indeed in charge. But yes, I am reading the rumors. I am reading some of the reports. I know there's stuff, which this is the one topic that I briefly just wanted to address, of course, that I didn't post about. I read some rumors this past week that there was a few promos recently that had to be rewritten because they said pro wrestling in it. And of course, who hates the term pro wrestling? Vince. Yes, I did hear about that. It's got me worried, but this show, I mean, okay, yes, SmackDown this week was okay. Well, I gave it a solid because there was stuff I thought that was really good, and such as the punch heard around the world, which again we will of course talk about that. But the punch heard around the world, and then the stuff with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So there was some good stuff, but there was a couple things I'm just like, wasn't really too big of a fan of. So there was some downsides to this episode, but stuff like, first off, there was an intro video. It's been a couple weeks since they played the intro video, so that made me feel at least a little bit better, because taking away the intro video was a Vince idea. And of course, in Charlotte's promo, which wasn't really that good, to be honest. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the promo she cut this week. But in Charlotte's promo, she mentioned a few names of people who aren't there anymore. Of course, one of them including Sasha Banks. Well, she just said Sasha, but she still referred to her. I'm pretty sure if Vince McMahon was around, had that much control, she would have been allowed to say Sasha's name. Although, of course, we all know Charlotte's someone that Vince McMahon drools over. I'm pretty sure, he still would not have approved of her saying Sasha's name and a couple other names, things she said in that promo. So, I still am pretty sure that Triple H is still in charge. Now, after WrestleMania, though, we'll have to wait and see. Because I still keep hearing the rumors that the upcoming sale is hoping to happen sometime in the middle of the summer. And I am hearing these reports about, they're asking for $9 million, I think it is, for WWE, and stuff like people like Comcast and a few others that people would like WWE to sell to have backed out because of the asking price, and the only people who are able to afford that is, in fact, Saudi Arabia. Also, is my live chat not working? Is my live chat not working? Oh, here it is. Yeah, because I'm wondering if I'm sorry. Yesterday in my Dynamite stream, I didn't have any audience, but I may have. But it's showing that there's live. The live chat wasn't working, but it's working now because Mark's there. I'll get to Mark's chats in a second. I'll get to Mark's live chat in a second. But anyways, to finish this thing about Vince, again, I'm just still just trying to enjoy while we can. Yes, there was an episode 2 weeks ago on Raw. Whenever I did not go into that episode with a good mindset, and I just read in that whole episode. But again, yes, there's stuff like Brock Lesnar and Omos. Yes, there's a few other little things that makes me worry a little, that he's lurking around and just injecting that lethal poison, or whatever it's called, the spread throughout the company. Yes, I did also read the report that Vince McMahon apparently reimbursed WWE $17.4 million over his hush money stuff. Which again is making me say, okay, how does that again not prove that he's guilty of all those allegations? It's just what else can this man possibly do to protect himself? It drives me crazy. It just absolutely drives me crazy. But as I keep saying, I'm just done dwelling on it. Unless something for real does happen that we can definitely confirm, I'm just done dwelling on it. Again, there's stuff on this show, like the Bloodline stuff, other things going on that I'm still enjoying. And again, that's all I want to do right now. I just want to enjoy wrestling. And I think WrestleMania 39, although again I agree the hype could have been a little bit better, WrestleMania 39 is going to be a good show. I don't expect to be one of the best WrestleManias of all time, but it'll still be a good show. I'm still looking forward to it. I have a lot of things, I'm excited about for WrestleMania. And again, I do plan on checking out NXT Stand and Deliver at some point also. It's going to be a fun weekend. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. And we'll see what happens afterwards. So again, the Vince McMahon stuff, it's whatever to me at this point. If he gets back in charge, we'll go from there. He's not in charge right now, so I'm trying to still enjoy it. I'm pretty sure, yes, if he does get back in charge, I will rant. But I'm just trying to enjoy it while I can right now. That's all I'm trying to do. The other two topics I briefly wanted to address. As I mentioned on my Instagram, which those who haven't done so yet, please give me a follow on my new Instagram page for the channel at the Club of the Man 1993. I posted several posts, 68 posts, which of course is just, like news stuff and advertising and all that fun little jazz out there. So make sure to, of course, give that page a follow, as I'm at 43 followers on Instagram. I would love to get to 100 by the end of the year. The goal for Instagram is 100. Twitter, I haven't really given myself a goal for Twitter. But say TikTok, I'm hoping to get 200. Need to do a little more on TikTok and just, like advertisement posts. But Twitter, I gotta get a little active on again too. But Twitter, 140. Let's see if we can get like those, like Twitter and TikTok to 200. Let's get Instagram to 100. And again, the big goal for me is to get the channel itself to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think I'm at 1,830 at this moment. So yeah, if you have any of the following social media accounts, please following social media platforms, please follow me on any of them, of course, and we will, of course, roll from there. So, and the other piece of news is I want to talk about. First off, Alexa Bliss was in the news this week for two things. First off, apparently she was on The Masked Singer. I haven't watched the show, but I do hear it's very fascinating. So, I mean, if I ever get a chance to check it out, I will. But I heard she was on The Masked Singer. She got voted off and had to reveal herself, and it was her. But also on the bad side, though, she had a skin cancer scare. And she had the surgery, got it removed, and she should be okay. She made some comments, something about don't do tanning rooms or something like that. Which sounds like that could have been what caused the scare, maybe, from what I hear. So that might be the reason why. But, I'm definitely glad she's okay for that. Congrats also getting a nice rub, though, on The Masked Singer. The reason why I bring this up, though, is... Well, first off, last month or so, it was revealed that Alexa Bliss was going on yet another hiatus. And she's been going on a lot of hiatuses the past couple of years. Which, of course, starts to be giving me a little concern. But I'm wondering, though, this is very minor. I say minor out of respect because... Alexa Bliss, Lexi Kaufman, her real name, was getting a little annoyed about the fans posting and speculating about her her hiatus. And she made some comment like, I'm not on hiatus. They know where to find me. Do you think, though, this Masked Singer and maybe the skin cancer scare could be the reason why she's been off TV? And could this also be a minor reason why the Bray Wyatt plans got nixed? It could be, because again, she was about to play a bigger role because she was transforming back into that character transforming back into that character that she was with the Harley Quinn gimmick and whatnot, and everything. Because the last time we saw her on in her build to her match with Bianca Belair, which was not that great at Rumble, Uncle Howdy came afterwards saying, so you say you're in control, that you're in charge and whatnot. And then we haven't seen her since. And I would think, okay, that's when it's like she's going to really embrace more of this character and whatnot and be a more integral part of the Wyatt Six. Or wherever the heck that they were going to go with this. So... I'm wondering if that kind of put a hurt on things. Because there's also the story backstage with the Bray Wyatt stuff, how originally, which again, even though they were pitching this match, and I would have rather have had this match, I still don't get why they weren't going to do Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Just Alex himself posted. Because also, speaking of Bobby Lashley, it was announced this week that this coming Friday, we're going to have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. And Bobby Lashley and LA Knight are both currently in that match. Now, it's on SmackDown. So that doesn't mean that they still can either, because I know a lot of people wanted to see Bobby Lashley get a match at WrestleMania still. I know a lot of people wanted to see LA Knight and Stone Cold Steve Austin as a rumored, match for a while happen. Because LA Knight's telling a story where he's trying to find an LA moment for WrestleMania in LA. Let me talk to you. Yeah! So I feel like just because they're in the Battle Royale on SmackDown does not mean they could still make an appearance at WrestleMania. Because I've also heard the rumor, someone told me this on Friday, they heard a rumor that Bobby Lashley could issue an open challenge at WrestleMania and Randy Orton could be returning to answer it. That's a rumor I've heard. I didn't make graphics for that or LA Knight or whatnot, but there's all that happening. But Just Alex, who we all know here on YouTube, posted on Twitter. He's hoping, and I'm hoping this happens too. Brock Lesnar comes out on Raw this week and just beats down on Omos, and it does lead to Omos not being able to wrestle, and Bobby Lashley will then want to fight Brock at Mania, which again I still think should happen, because how could you end how it did at Elimination Chamber with the scoop kick to the groin? You're going to go by the idea of, Brock proved he can't beat Bobby. I'm like, that's not how you end the feud. So, I don't know. I'm still hoping there is because Bray Wyatt was supposed to face Bobby Lashley until all this other shenanigans happened. So yeah, could this Alexa Bliss stuff, though, be a slight impact on all this, though? Maybe. But I don't want to say yes for sure. But I think it's possible there's a small impact on it. So that's that. The second thing I wanted to address really quick also is it was announced on her Instagram, through an Instagram post, Naomi, formerly now known as Naomi, posted on her Instagram about her being at some WrestleCon. And somebody indeed commented on it and said, "Girl, are you still with WWE?" And Naomi commented back, Naomi, or now AKA, in real life, Trinity Fat 2, but now Trinity Star, commented back and said, "No friend." And she trademarked Trinity Star. So she's still, as of now, let me double check now, because I always, like to follow those nitpicky stuff that I know needs fixed on the WWE app. As of now, she still is listed as a SmackDown superstar on the app. But that could, of course, change soon. But it sounds like Naomi's not coming back. She's going off and doing her own thing, which I'm a little surprised. I mean, I felt, again, after War Games, I was like, okay, at least Sasha's not coming back. Naomi, I thought, would still come back because her husband's still with the company. I thought she would at least come back to be with her husband, which is, I always forget, one of the Usos, one of them. I still think Naomi should have turned heel at one point and joined the Bloodline, because spicing them up a bit with a female wrestler involved would not have been a bad idea, especially with how great this story's been with the Bloodline. Having a female involved in there would not have been too bad of an idea. But no, she's gone. She's going off doing her own thing. Does that mean she's going to be wrestling, or she's going to be doing Hollywood or whatnot? The sky's the limit for her. And again, I'm happy for her. She's been at the company for a good 10, 11 years? Maybe a little longer now. I can't remember how long it's been. At least as far back as the Funkadactyls. But definitely underutilized. So underutilized. For storylines that kept going absolutely nowhere. She would be one person. I would say this. I would go as far as saying this. I always said in the past decade, I thought Cesaro was the most underutilized wrestler. I could say Naomi possibly may be the most underutilized female wrestler. Because the only time they gave her any gold was in 2017. They gave her 2 SmackDown Women's Championship wins, two reigns. Well, the first one was cut short because of an injury, but it was a way to set her up to win the title back at WrestleMania. And then she held the title for the summer before she dropped to Natalya. And then just this past run, she won the tag titles with Sasha before they both walked out. So, yeah, I could definitely say she is one of the most underutilized women's wrestlers in the past decade. Her talents are definitely going to be recognized, and she'll be useful anywhere she goes. So she's going to be fine. Again, I am definitely a little surprised she didn't come back because her husband's still there. I figured after War Games, I knew after War Games Sasha's not coming back, but I thought, okay, maybe Naomi would return by Rumble. And when she did return by Rumble, I thought, maybe she's not, but I wasn't 100% convinced. But yes, Trinity Starr, as she is now, is gone. Well, is now a thing. And Naomi is done with WWE. So, again, she's talented. She's going to excel wherever she goes to. And I do wish her definitely the very best. So, that's my couple little topics I wanted to just cover really quick before I got into the review. Now we'll talk about the review. Again, there was stuff that was great, but then there was stuff that was just like, that was like, kind of like okay, this makes no sense stuff. Particularly stuff with the women. But we will talk about that when we get to it. Live chat. Let's get to the live chat now. Again, if the live chat was not working yesterday, I do apologize. But it was weird. It looked like there was nobody there, but then it was like stuff that was missing from it. So then I had to press another button, and it was all there. And actually, if you don't mind, guys, time out just for 1 second. I will be right back. we are back. Sometimes, guys, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Okay, anyways, so we are back now. Let's check the live chat. Before we go, we talk about actual SmackDown. We had Mark first off. What's going on, Mark? It's been a while. I can't believe we're just one Raw and one SmackDown away from the showcase of the Immortals. Me neither, and I'm excited about it. I thought there were rumors going around that Ronda was unable to wrestle. Yes, that was the case. I guess she's okay now. We'll talk about Ronda Rousey, or as Tyler likes to call her, Horseface, when we get to her. And it's about time Rey finally did something about his son. Rey Mysterio wound up and launched the Punch Herd throughout the world as I'm coming. The Punch Herd around the world, as I'm calling it. Yes, I will, of course, refer to that when we do get to that, because that was definitely the most hyped and anticipated thing going into the show. Well, we weren't 100% sure if this week would have been the night. I know some people thought they were going to wait until the Hall of Fame ceremony. Because Dom's going to show up during Rey's Hall of Fame speech. You just know it. We got Tyler saying he thought it was another great SmackDown. The one thing that made him like, oh God, was Horseface came back again. Yes, she came back, my friend. Wrestling News 365, what's up? See, that's how you know Triple H isn't creative and not Vince. Vince would have never had that Rey Mysterio Dominic story go on long-term storytelling. And how great it was, yes. And how are you doing today? How you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing, Wrestling News 365? And is Alexa Bliss going to AEW? I don't think she is, no. He also says that Charlotte's getting boring. I mean, she hasn't... Anytime when Charlotte has the title, I mean, yes, she's great talent. She's definitely one of the best in the company for sure. But when you have a very lackluster women's division, then your reigns become a little unforgettable. Which unfortunately has been the case for this one. Because since she won the title, I think the only person she actually defended the title against was Sonya Deville. And most of the time, when Charlotte is champion, when was the last time she, besides like WrestleMania? Okay, there was Backlash last year, but besides that, how often has she defended the title? It's not her fault, but defended the title on a pay-per-view. But once again, it's not her fault because this women's division is shit. It's absolute ass. Heard yesterday that Bray Wyatt took a picture with some fan and they said he looked great. Like they said he looked better than normal. I didn't hear about that. Well, that is awesome to hear for sure. Alexa Bliss is better as a heel than she is as a babyface. I can agree with that completely. Anytime Alexa Bliss has been a babyface. I mean, yes, there was a time when I thought, okay, she's been a heel for too long, make her face. Anytime she's been a babyface, she has like absolutely no character to her at all. So I do agree, she is better as a heel, but just, especially with the Harley Quinn character, there's only, like especially because they did so much of it during the pandemic era with no fans and stuff was pre-recorded. There's no way some of that stuff they could get away with as much as they could have, which is what also hurt her character when she was it originally. I wonder why they put Bobby Lashley and Andre Giant Royal Battle Royale next Friday. Again, probably because they may not have nothing to do for him, but like I said, just because him and Knight are in the Battle Royale does not mean they're not going to still show up at Mania. I think there's a chance they could actually show up at Mania, but I'm not 100% sure. He also thought that Alexa Bliss got released. Nope, didn't get released. That Rey Mysterio Dominic Mysterio storyline has been one of the best in a long time, and that's how you know Vince is in creative, because he would have done long term. Wait, how Vince is? I didn't even say Vince is not in creative. He would not have done long term. Because remember when Vince is in creative, he'd rush the matches and get them out. Vince is Triple H actually making this company. Yes, definitely. Horseface was in a title match at Mania to a tag match for nothing. We'll talk about that, of course, when we get to it. And why the hell do they put Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in that women's tag match? Just because. We'll talk about, of course, the inconsistencies of like having to qualify and not having to qualify. When are you doing your WrestleMania predictions? I am doing them tomorrow after work. That's my plan. I got the graphics all made. Just going to come home from work, set up the green screen, and I'll get rolling right away as soon as I get home for Raw. Rey Mysterio's punch was better than Logan Paul's punch when he punched Seth Rollins last week. Oh! Yes, I definitely enjoyed that punch more, but I can't wait for Seth Rollins to just punch Logan Paul in the face. I can't wait for the SOB, who is somehow so good and it pisses me off so much. But Seth Rollins will kick his ass next week on his 28th birthday. He'll ruin Logan Paul's 28th birthday. Okay, get a little evil there. Anyways, Mark says, the only person I hope doesn't lose their champion next weekend, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but Austin Theory. Yeah, I don't think he should lose it, but they announced also on SmackDown this week that match with Austin Theory and John Cena will indeed be kicking off the show. Has me wondering a little. I don't know, something about that kicking off WrestleMania weekend doesn't quite sit well with me. I don't know. I don't know if it's because John Cena has not been on Raw since, like, if he wasn't going to actually be there, you would think he would at least have, like, some type of, like a Tron, like, an off-screen promo or something like that, pre-recorded to send it. Like, something like that at least. But nothing since he shrunk Austin Theory down to size. Like, you would think they would have some segment where it looks like Theory like dug himself out of the hole a little bit, but they haven't. So yeah, I'm a little wondering about that. Do you think Finn Balor and Edge is going to have a good match at WrestleMania? Do you think that's a feud that needs Hell in a Cell? Again, as I've always said, that will be a good match. The only problem I have with that match is that I think Finn needs to win that. But it should be the case. The whole idea is for Edge to end what he created, and that was Judgment Day. But again, they got their revenge with him and Beth Phoenix won at Chamber. So like I said on Raw the other night, my Raw review, it feels like it's the same people, but it feels like a different story at this point. One more that I do want to get started with the actual review. I heard that Kairi Sane is a free agent. She can sign with WWE. I did hear Kairi is a free agent. Will she come back to WWE? If Triple H is still in charge, I'd say it's highly possible. But I also wouldn't mind seeing her in AEW either. So again, I think that was just going to depend on where the company goes in the next couple of months. But I want to get started with the review and actually start talking about it. We've talked about a bunch of couple topics so far, but let's roll right in. But keep your guys' stuff coming in the live chat. Do not be afraid to leave any remarks. Let's get started. The show opened up, again, we were in Vegas, and the show opened up with Cody Rhodes taking on Ludwig Kaiser. The match was fine. Although I thought with Ludwig Kaiser, being, part of a tag team, I felt they had the match go on just a little bit too long, I thought. But it was still fine. Cody Rhodes got the victory as he should have. Afterwards, though, at some point in the match, Paul Heyman had come out and just stared down Cody on the ramp. And of course, Solo eventually came out with Paul also. And they were just chilling, by ringside at one point. After the match, though, Heyman gets on the mic and says how Cody is owed an apology. And he blames the ring announcer for doing a lousy job with announcing Cody's victory. And he mocks the victory announcement and calls him, of course, the reigning, defending challenger to Roman Reigns' undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship, blah, 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 this and that. But anyways, he basically throws a couple last-minute hurdles at Cody going into WrestleMania next weekend. On Monday on Raw, Cody will have a match against the enforcer of the bloodline, who has gotten a "You're Not Ready" chant over because of Cody Rhodes' remarks to Solo this past Monday on Raw. So Cody will fight Solo on Raw, and if he survives, all roads lead to WrestleMania. But before WrestleMania, Roman Reigns will see him one final time next Friday, face-to-face on SmackDown. And Cody's like, are you trying to make me move the goalposts on me again and say no to any of this? He should have said no to wrestling with half of his body dangling limp against Seth Rollins, but he knows Solo's not ready. After he finds out he's not ready, Roman Reigns will find out the same thing at WrestleMania. So Cody's like, you really think your little challenges are going to intimidate me? Like, nah. So that's the lineup for Cody Rhodes for the last week leading into WrestleMania. And then we have this promo with Charlotte. And I'm sorry, did something seem off with this promo? So Charlotte came out. She mentions how she's a 14-time champion, and it was not built on fear, insecurities, or nepotism. Everyone uses the same line again as she started the business. And what is fear even? Lack of understanding, of ignorance, and this business wasn't built on fear, it was built on respect. She don't fear Rhea Ripley. She respects her, and the only thing she fears is her own potential. And then she starts naming a few people, including Sasha Banks, who left, of course, on bad terms. And Nikki and Brie, of course, who just left too, and are now the Garcia twins. Asuka, Trish, Natty, Becky, and a few other people she named. But like I said before, I'm pretty sure Vince would not have allowed her to say Nikki, Brie, and Sasha, because he would probably hold a grudge against them for leaving. And damn right, she has insecurity. She built this house out of every brick that's been thrown at her these past 7 years. And nepotism. This is where the promo kind of fell off, because she was just like, yes, right, Vegas, I love my dad, and I'll never apologize for continuing the greatest legacies in sports entertainment. Of course, she said sports entertainment instead of pro wrestling there. And whether you like it or not, you better learn to love it, because diamonds are forever, and so is Charlotte. But like, Charlotte, I don't know if it's because she healed up a little bit, like in the second half of this promo. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if it's because again, I mean, I guess, it was just Charlotte. I think you could make sense, like Charlotte's addressing the whole idea of fear in the promo. Okay, I get it, but I don't know if it's because, again, she kind of came across a little heelish in this promo. And again, it's because Charlotte is a natural heel, a babyface. But yes, I'm pretty sure I've heard in real life Charlotte's a really nice woman. I've heard that in real life, but in the ring, I feel like, again, as I've always said, Charlotte comes across a lot more naturally as a heel. And I think that's what kind of threw this promo off, because we're supposed to be looking at Charlotte as the babyface. But again, she kind of healed up a little, especially when she got to the nepotism part. So I don't know, something was just a bit off with that promo I thought she had. But we had that, no Rhea on this show. Then we had Rey Mysterio versus the Red Hot L.A. Knight. Let me talk to you. Yeah! I thought they had a good match. Dominic, though, came out, and of course, it was advertised that Dominic's going to be on SmackDown this week, and also mentioned that his real mommy, not Rhea Ripley, his own mother, Angie Mysterio, and his sister, Aaliyah, who made out with Buddy Murphy Mysterio. Yes, of course, I went that far a little bit. I do apologize with that, but they were at ringside watching this match, and Dom, of course, got involved, caused a distraction, gave LA Knight a win, who, deserved that victory. He definitely needed another victory, because he is still, of course, one of the hottest things for sure. He's definitely like a very popular upcoming star that a lot of people do want to see him, get more. So if Triple H remains in charge, I am pretty sure we will be seeing. I'm pretty sure we will be seeing LA Knight be one of the guys getting a bigger push post WrestleMania. As I said on Monday, I think there's some people that they're still holding back on a little bit because they're trying not to because like I said before, only so many people can be on WrestleMania. So obviously there's some people they don't want to give too big of a push to right now because people would be wanting to see them on the show and not being happy about somebody else being on the show. But I think once WrestleMania passes, of course the Bloodline story ends and whatnot, a lot of fresh names will hopefully be getting pushed. Anyways though, so that all happens, LA Knight wins. Then after the match, this is one of my favorite parts of the night. This is one of the best parts of the night and one of the best payoffs we've had, of course, besides the Bloodline stuff from WrestleMania. Afterwards, though, Dom confronts his dad. Again, demands a match and shoves him. And then Ray's like, no. He literally waved his finger like, no. You're very bad, son. Very, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. They're not human. They're very bad. Very, very, very bad. Put the nail on the coffin in Jerry Seinfeld's trial in the finale. But yes, I can always do a good Bobby imitation. Anyways, so he says, no, not happening. But as Ray walks away, Dom again continues to trash him. And then Ray's like, really, we're doing this again. And then Dom points out again that his mom and sister are in the crowd. And that's when Ray's like, wait a minute, you're going to go a little too far here, son. And he starts jawing at his mom, saying, how does it feel to be married to a pathetic loser who can't even be bothered to stand up to his own son? He calls her a deadbeat mom, and I think Aaliyah actually slapped him. And then Dom calls her stupid. His Angie takes the mic, but then before she can say anything, Dom yanks the mic back out of her hand and screams, "Mom, shut up!" Which, of course, what good-hearted son would ever tell their mother to shut up? Oh, if you said shut up to your mother, you were in big, big, big trouble. And that's exactly what happened, because Rey Mysterio marched over to his son. And Dom's like, "Oh yeah? What are you going to do about that, Dad, huh? What are you going to do about that?" He'd go, hit me, hit me, hit me. And then finally, after 7 months, Rey Mysterio finally clutched his fist, decked the hell out of his son right in the face. And the crowd lost it as soon as that happened. The crowd popped. Again, these feuds like Rey and Dominic, the bloodline with Sami Zayn, turning on Roman, the whole idea, the whole idea that Jay could do the same to Roman at WrestleMania, and then Dom finally getting, his ass, handed to him on SmackDown this past week. Again, some of these moments in this build for me, again, the stuff that's really good is really good. But like I said, I call that punch the punch heard around the world. Because anybody who's a baseball fan ever heard of the shot heard around the world when the Giants hit that big homer that made them win the pennant back in the 50s or whatever. That's called the shot heard around the world. But again, this was called the punch heard around the world, in my opinion. Because Rey decked Dom in the face, and for the first time in a while, Dom didn't look so confident. He's just like, I didn't mean to, Daddy. I didn't mean to, Daddy. I didn't mean to, Daddy. But then Rey gets on the mic, and he says, You made me hit you. I didn't want to, but you made me. And you don't disrespect your mother like that. That's not just your mother also. That is my wife. You wanted to fight me at WrestleMania? You got it. I'll see you at WrestleMania, son. Of course, afterwards, here's the thing too. Afterwards, of course, Dom gets up and he goes up the ramp and his watch is on as, of course, Ray kisses his wife and his daughter, and there's the crowd's cheering for him and everything, but he's walking up the ramp and you still see him getting emotional. So, of course, yes, he hated that he did that, but, he acknowledges that Dom pushed him to it. But the fuel's been lit under Ray. But next week at the Hall of Fame ceremony, it'll probably be lit a little more. Because, again, well, it still could happen at WrestleMania, but I think the match is still going to be having, Ray, having some resistance of wanting to beat up his son. Because I think at this point, you're going to have to do something at WrestleMania to have one more match. Because I think the story, I feel has to get a little even more personal in the WrestleMania and probably the Backlash. Probably we'll probably get a rematch and Ray will probably get his win there. But I think Dom should get the victory at Mania. I think Ray should put over his son at WrestleMania. But yeah, it's there again that although Ray finally snapped and attacked his son and accepted his match at WrestleMania, he's still obviously showing some resentment, as obviously he doesn't want it to come down to this. But again, he had to shut his son up for doing what he did. But once again, though, what's I'm going to say now? Oh yeah, once again though, he has some resistance. But once again, Dom pushed him to it. So yes, my favorite part of the show for sure was the punch heard around the world. Again, the crowd popped and it was awesome. But we then had another one of those WrestleMania Showcase qualifying matches for the women. Remember, the men didn't have to qualify. The women, well, most of them had to. Last week, it was Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan who had to qualify by beating Emma and Tegan Nox. This week, we had Shotzi Blackheart and Natalya teaming up to take on Xia Li and Lacey Evans, the ones who literally have new gimmicks every week, get pulled from TV. People that honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they ever decided to do some cuts. It wouldn't surprise me if they released both Lacey Evans and Xia Li, because they are people that okay, yes, there's Natalya, who has his place in the company. There's Shotzi Blackheart, who has a character that's been loved before in the past. It just, again, it still feels like the cobwebs are there with it. It feels like they turned her back into her old character and said, here, just be yourself, be your old character again. But they got, no development from it. But it's there. Then there's, Xia Li and Lacey Evans, which, first off, Lacey Evans recently got a lot of heat because of some post she did on Twitter basically saying, in order to, get over depression, all you gotta do is this, this, and this, and you're fine. Which, yeah, that was not a good thing for her to say. But Lacey Evans literally has done so many character changes since she came back from her pregnancy, and it just feels like that they're not finding anything for her to work. She literally is the female Baron Corbin. They've gone through so many gimmicks and nothing is working for either one of them. No wonder why they teamed up in the mixed tag match at Extreme Rules 2019 and take on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Because again, they're people who they can't find the right gimmick for. Well, Baron Corbin once did have the right gimmick. And even Lacey Evans probably at first. I think if Triple H Yeah, why does make Lacey the sassy Southern belle again, or whatever the heck that they called her? Like, just go back to that, because that, not over pushed, was fine. But anyways, so the baby faces won. But after that, here comes Tyler's favorite, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Shayna comes out because Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan were on commentary. Shayna says, all 4 women in the ring have reasons to want revenge on us, and lists all of them. And then she wants to give them an opportunity tonight, but then Ronda holds it back and says, Vegas don't deserve it. And Baszler accepts and says, they've been added to the WrestleMania Showcase match just because. Like, no rhyme or reason. They don't have to qualify. They've been added to the match. Which, again, why? There's no story as to why. So, I think the whole idea, because I'll talk about this in my WrestleMania preview predictions. I think the whole idea of this is to have Ronda and Shayna win this match, and they'll be the ones that take the women's tag titles off of Becky and Lita, which will also mix in with the rumors I keep hearing about Becky and Trish having a feud going into SummerSlam this summer. Which also, this could also start planting the seeds and retelling the story to get to a Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch match eventually. Which, again, I know Ronda's not had a good run. That match, though, one-on-one still has to happen. So, this could, again, be a way to hit the reset button on Ronda to get her back to where she was in 2018 and 2019. Because if it doesn't work this time, then it's like, forget it. So, we have that happening there, which that was also another low point. Of course, also, I mentioned too, it was just weird if SmackDown, I feel like it was longer this week. Probably because, again, we had like so much stuff happen on this episode of SmackDown. But anyways, we then had the contract signing for the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. Before anyone can introduce Drew McIntyre, out came the Brawling Brutes. Sheamus says people have been asking why he's so mad at Drew, and he spins a story about your best friend going behind your back to steal your dreams away. Being a backstabbing bastard, after backstabbing bastard, after backstabbing bastard. But Drew, though, cut him off and told him to imagine shutting up, and every week he tries to guilt trip him about it like a teenage girl, and it's embarrassing. Lastly, they're in this ring, reminding everyone why they're the most physical superstars in the company. They beat the hell out of each other, and after they should have been hanging out in the bar, but Sheamus can't separate business from personal. And Sheamus accuses McIntyre of making it personal, and Drew says, I've beaten you, Sheamus, and I know I can beat Gunther. But history shows that you can't, so too bad. So they get to square off, though, but then Adam Pearce tells them, you can beat the hell out of each other next week. But for now, though, I need 3 signatures on this contract to make it official. They both signed it. Gunther then comes out and signs it. But then he gets in Adam Pearce's face and demands he justify why he's in this triple threat match. Which, of course, I still thought, okay, yes, I get what they're going for last week with Gunther wanting to stop there from being a 10 count, but if Gunther wouldn't have gotten involved, like in reality, you'd think they would have done something else, but I thought maybe this was going to set up for like a stipulation, like it's got to be elimination style or something like that. Like, it could still be, you never know. Or make it a ladder match, I don't know, something. But of course, Gunther, signs the contract again. He asks if he's happy now and says he'll do whatever it takes to defend his title, and he'll beat the both of them. And if he has to, he'll beat Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. Well, he said Butch and Ridge Holland as well. And then Butch jumped him, leading to a match with Gunther and Butch. It was short. We've obviously seen. I mean, the match was fine. But we've obviously seen much better matches than we did. There was just some interference outside. Eventually, Gunther wins with the Last Symphony, and we move on from there. Street Profits were backstage talking about WrestleMania, hype for their showcase match, and they run into their opponents, which again was Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and they started jawing at each other. And then we get the main event. Which was just a segment of the Kevin Owens show, with Kevin Owens, and his special guest was his tag partner, his friend, his brother, the one and only Sami Zayn. So, of course, Sami comes out, and KO's like, yeah, did you like the big intro? But Sami's like, he's the guest. I don't need a big intro. And KO points out that it was Sami's idea for separate entrances, so they both could hear their theme songs, and they just, laugh it off and whatnot. Sami points out, though, that they're on the verge of winning the tag titles together at WrestleMania, which, again, that word together is still, what makes this moment so powerful. Like I said, yes, it would have been awesome to see Sami Zayn be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, but the whole point of the story was to bring back together, repair a toxic friendship with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And now that that's happened, we got to capitalize by having them win something together at WrestleMania, which again is the tag titles. So yes, that's awesome. KO says he told Sami all those months ago that he needed a new shirt when he got his honorary Uso Bloodline shirt. And he actually got him, though, another new shirt. He gives him a shirt that shows him the new KO Mania shirt for this year. But he says KO Mania is actually on the back of the shirt. And he says there's only one person who can say he's been the MVP of the company these past 12 months. And to him, that person is his best friend, Sami Zayn. And so he tossed Sami the shirt so he could see the front. And on the front of the shirt, it says WrestleZania. And Sami's so excited. And then Kevin takes his hoodie off to reveal he's already wearing one too. Sami goes for a hug, and Kevin's like, okay, you got your hug last week. He's like, all right, fine. Goes to give him a hug. But as he does that, here come the Usos. They attack from behind. They lay out KO with the super kick party, and then lay out Sami with the 1D, and then they throw up the ones, and that's how the show ends. So just like a really little, a little brief, taste of celebrating their friendship. And of course that shirt's cool. If I didn't have so many shirts right now, and again, I do have a lot of shirts. I'm still, sorting through stuff in my house, but I definitely think that would have been a good purchase, is the WrestleZania and KO Mania shirt for sure. But, yeah, that's still, again, probably the hottest thing going on in WrestleMania is WrestleZania and KO Mania teaming up again. So, but yeah, that was SmackDown. Again, the stuff that was good, again, the punch, and of course, the main event segment. Everything else was fine, but, again, the stuff with the women, again, that Charlotte promo just still felt really off because of how heelish it sounded. And then, of course, the stuff with that women's tag match, and also how Ronda and Shayna didn't even have to qualify. Why even do this match if we know Ronda and Shayna are going to qualify? And, even so, even whoever does, qualify last, well, here's a prediction I'm going to make. Because again, I'm doing my predictions before Raw tomorrow. I'm going to predict that a couple of Karens are going to go pay Adam Pearce a visit on Raw, saying they want to speak to the manager. And they're going to say, well, Ronda and Shayna didn't have to qualify, so why can't we not have to qualify? No, you're not going to get in the match. I'll block you. I'll report you. Fine, you can have your match. You can be added in and not to qualify. Because qualifying is inconsistency in this company more, which is true. But yeah, I'm betting you Chelsea Green and Carmella will go to Adam Pearce on Raw tomorrow night, and basically, just shun him out. Well, not shut him out, but basically, stump him by saying, well, you didn't make Ronda and Shayna qualify, so we don't have to qualify. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be added to that tag match. And I'll say it right now. If it was up for me, I'd have them win the match. I really think I am intrigued by them. That feels like the new Iconics. It feels like they feel like the new Iconics where there is legitimately something there that they could be a legitimate team, Chelsea Green and Carmella. But unfortunately, again, Ronda and Shayna are probably going to win it. But if I had my choice, Chelsea and Carmella would be winning that match. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be the fourth team for that women's showcase match. But yeah, that was SmackDown. I gave the B-. Again, because of, the back and forthness with, the stuff that was good, then the couple little women stuff that kind of, sucked it down a little bit, but it was still a solid episode of SmackDown. And I gave it a B-. Let's check the live chat real quick and see what we've got here. I think we were at right here with Wrestling News 365. I've done the Brock Lesnar match opening up WrestleMania because that's the most boring match and nobody cares for. Honestly, I would have done it too. Brock went to do his match first at WrestleMania 35 just so he could go home early. Why not? I mean, it's probably not going to happen because even in my predictions, I'm predicting the matches before I do here the final, when, because usually they do announce what match is going to be on night 1 and what match is going to be on night 2. The only things we know for sure is John Cena and Austin Theory is opening up WrestleMania on night 1. We know that Logan Paul and Seth Rollins is going to be on night 1. It's pretty obvious that, because rumors be the main event, but they're probably going to have Charlotte and Rhea on night 1. And the main event of night 2 is going to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And then the main event from night 1 still should be the Usos and KO and Sami Zayn, because nothing else is going to top that off. So unless you have it open night 2, which is the second option, just a setup for what's going to happen by the end of the show. But yes, we have all that. Tyler says split the World Tag Titles. It's coming soon, I believe so. Where in the hell has Tommaso Ciampa been? He is out hurt. Hopefully he'll be back soon. When he comes back, I'm pretty sure that's when they'll have him and Johnny Gargano reunite as DIY on the main roster. And that will add a lot of depth to the tag division. Could you imagine Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus DIY? Or even DIY versus the Usos? And heck, if by some slim chance, FTR does come back. Under Triple H, FTR, and DIY. Remember the series of matches they had in NXT? Especially at TakeOver Toronto, that 2 out of 3 falls match, that classic. That would be good, but set the bar just a little bit too high there with all that. But, anyways. Alexa Bliss said recently in an interview she would be at WrestleMania for WrestleMania week, and she said in an interview, okay, cool. Get rid of the women's tag titles. Yes, I agree. I fucking love that Jay White's not going to come to WBF's Vince McMahon. I don't know. There's still rumors about Jay White. He's definitely one of the hottest free agents, but he could come to WWE. He could not, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me see here. Vince needs to stay away. Yes. Tyler thinks Charlotte can work as a face. If Charlotte had the proper heel to work with, yes, she could. But again, with no depth, it's just, ugh. But Sasha is better off as a heel. Yes, I do agree with that. Sasha is definitely better off as a heel. Ray finally put the trigger for 7 months, yes. Unless the winning team gets a future tag match, and what's the point of this fatal 4-way? I do agree. Tyler says fire Horseface. what the heck is going on with the OC, Michin, and Shinsuke Nakamura? We haven't seen them in a while. I think Shinsuke's hurt, for what I've heard. And I think they just haven't had the OC on because of AJ Styles being hurt, which is dumb, but, you know. Tyler gave the show a B+. Marcus makes, which match do you think will be the bathroom and snack break for the weekend? Oh, definitely Brock Lesnar and Omos. That's the only match I can say I literally don't give two shits about. Maybe the showcase matches. I mean, the men's could be good. The women's is just too obvious it's going to be Ronda and Shayna. So probably that Fatal 4-Way showcase and Brock Lesnar and Omos, I would say, is probably the bathroom break matches. And Tyler mentions how Orton is better as a heel. Yes, I agree with that as well. Orton can get only so much mileage as a babyface, but he is definitely in his element as a heel. All right, guys. Well, another long review. I mean, most of my live streams have been for like an hour, and I'm pretty sure my WrestleMania preview tomorrow night after work will be an hour as well. But good stream, great crowd. Again, I gave SmackDown a B-. So again, the plan for the rest of for this week, I will be doing my WrestleMania preview and predictions tomorrow night for sure. And of course, Raw, AEW, SmackDown reviews when I'm able to get them in. If I have to do some uploads, I may do some uploads, but we'll see. I'll do whatever I can do live, I'm able to do. If I get time today, I will try to record year 3 of my Roller Coaster Tycoon Let's Play for Trinity Islands. I've done 2 years this weekend so far. I may get to do year 3 this weekend. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll try. No promises. We'll probably won't be able to upload it probably till later this week, but I could maybe start editing it later on tonight. Again, I have another video game Let's Play I've started to work on, but again, I'm uploading those videos for that one batches at a time. So that one's still going to be a bit. I am going to do, of course, a commercial this week, mostly because I want to get on my new social media platforms for my first WrestleMania experience documentary. Again, if you guys have not seen that half-hour documentary I made when I went to WrestleMania 35, please go check it out. It is always, of course, in my descriptions on any of my social media platforms. And, of course, it is the feature video on my channel when we first opened up the channel as well. If you've never catched it, please watch it so you can see, my story from my first ever WrestleMania experience. Again, maybe next year could be year 2 I do it. Again, there is a chance. There's a chance I may do WrestleMania next year. It's not definite though, but there is a chance. This probably just depends on, where I'm at with, because I'll be getting married in July and me just moving to the house. It's possible, but I'm not going to guarantee it. I'll also be careful also, because last time I posted a video of me saying I was going to WrestleMania, I held up my ticket and people were saying that my barcode got exposed. And someone was saying they were going to go to the entrance and use my barcode to get in. Luckily, that scared the hell out of me. Luckily, it didn't happen. I got into WrestleMania. I got to enjoy the show and get back to the hotel before the rain happened that night. But we'll see about that. But yeah, I definitely do a commercial for that. I also, of course, again, because of the new social media platforms, I will try to do like a post a day on Twitter and Instagram of me just sharing a story from my WrestleMania experience. Where it was from an autograph session, from, a moment or anything, I'll be sharing pictures and, clips on my new Instagram page referring to all of that. So please, of course, guys, make sure to definitely support the social media of demand. And, of course, be on the road to my goal for this year, which, again, for the social media pages, the goal is to get to 200 followers on Twitter. I'm at 148, which I've been at for a very long time. So, of course, Twitter right now has been the one I've probably used the least. Like, Instagram is the one I'm using the most right now. But definitely trying to get active on Twitter as much as I can. But definitely make sure to, do the usuals, guys. Let's see here. Nothing else in the live chat. So, yeah, I will do the sign out here, guys. First off, give me your thoughts on everything we talked about. From SmackDown, The punch heard around the world. The stuff with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Stuff about the women's division, I've said. To LA Knight and Bobby Lashley being put into the Battle Royale. But I still think there's a chance that either of them could still have something to do at WrestleMania. To the stuff I talked about at the beginning with Vince McMahon and the rumor about the promos being rewritten to say pro wrestling instead of sports entertainment. Well, sports entertainment instead of pro wrestling. To him reimbursing WWE for his hush money finances and whatnot. To Alexa Bliss and her skin cancer scare and her being on The Masked Singer. And could that be part of the reason why she's been absent from TV? Another reason why that could have been nixed the Bray Wyatt plans. And also, of course, your thoughts on Naomi, now known as Trinity Trinity Star, leaving the company and now on her own. What do you guys think? Leave your guys' thoughts again down in the comments section below. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention also, of course, WrestleMania review next weekend. And again, I will watch and review NXT Stand and Deliver as well. So guys, make sure you guys leave your thoughts about everything I mentioned down in the comments section below. Be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. Again, the goal is 200 for TikTok and Instagram for follow. I'm sorry, 200 for Twitter and TikTok for followers, because I'm at 148 for Twitter, 104 for TikTok. For Instagram, I like to get to 100 because we're at 45 now. I've gained 2 more followers on Instagram since during this live stream. Thank you very much. So 2 more followers there. And of course, the biggest goal again is to get to get this channel to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Again, that is in fact my goal. So guys, till then guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch y'all later. Stay tuned as always for more content to come to the channel and to the social media platforms. Have a great rest of your day and happy WrestleMania week. And as always, don't forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am, guys, the man himself.